Hey, it's Vinny. It is August 2nd, 2026. I would want to start recording my thoughts, get them out potentially. Recently, I left the girl that I thought I was going to marry because of something called perceived burdensomeness, or the feeling where people are better off without you. I loved her. I still do love her. I want to marry her one day. I really do. That might just be childish thoughts because the world is full of everything. It's full of girls. It's full of dreams. It's a whole world, and we're tiny little specks on it. But none of those specks will be her again. That might be the hardest thing that I gotta get over. That I want her. I want to be with her. But she'll end up finding someone else eventually. Someone who can treat her right. Someone in a better headspace. Someone that can love her better than I was able to. And that's what she deserves. She's an amazing person. My parents were wrong about a lot about her. And I want just the best for her. I want her to be happy, even if that means that I have to love her from afar. We agreed to just be friends, but I don't know how that's going to work. Because I'd go to the end of the world for this girl. And she knows that. We just got off the phone and I made that very clear, that I will stop at nothing but to make her love. This is the second time we dated. And last time, it was rough. I wasn't able to get over her at all. And it took me months. I was to the brink of suicide because, not even because I lost her, but because in the process I lost myself. And I didn't know where to go from there. And I thought, if this is how I feel over a 2-month relationship, where am I going to be at in an actual relationship if that ends? There was one night I was planning on committing suicide. I went to Publix and I got sushi as my last meal. But an employee at Publix decided to talk to me. And he has no clue. But him just talking to me that late, right before closing, he's probably exhausted. He was the last push. He was the last thing to tell me that the world is good. So I lived. After a while, me and this girl, we stopped talking fully. And then a year later, we got a class together. And over time, we went from basically strangers again to friends, to best friends, to in love. It was the most beautiful thing ever. Almost as beautiful as her. But I let my mental health get in the way of the thing I loved most. I thought my parents would hate me because I was with her. I thought they would get a divorce. I shouldn't have thought that way. I want to work through this with this girl. I don't want to give up on this girl. But it's better for both of us if we don't get into a relationship, and it kills me to think like that. I hate thinking that there will be another guy who will do the stuff we did, who will make her laugh the same way I did, who will make her smile, make her feel comforted, that her parents will approve of. Because it won't be me, and that's a selfish way to think. I'm young, I'm dumb. I'm so dumb. The day before I left her was the first time we were able to hang out in a month. And we went to church. The message that we were there for was about self-control that day. I forget the guy's name, but he had no self-control. He was later punished for not having self-control by being imprisoned and having his eyes gouged out. So I said under my breath, Lord, if this isn't right, take her away from me. Give me a reason to leave, anything. And then the next day, first thing in the morning, I got in a fight with my mom. I thought that was a sign that it's not good. I still think it was a sign that we were supposed to break up, but I think it's a sign that more, yeah, I think it was rather a sign that we just weren't ready for each other yet. Because I want this girl to be my wife. She was my first love, but that's all I want. She's all I want. She really is. I want to live. I want to live with her. I want to start a life with her. But I messed up. I messed up really bad. I wish there was a way to directly talk to God with reassurance that there's going to be an answer. I will pray as much as I can, but I want to ask him directly, or her, why? Just why do we get these emotions? Why are we put into relationships if they're just to end eventually? I would understand if it's for a lesson, but what lesson possibly could I learn by loving a girl with everything I have and then being the one to leave to hurt her? Maybe the lesson to be learned here is to sleep on decisions, to understand what you're thinking before you act on. Something that's resonated with me that my mom told me after I broke up with this girl is emotions are to be felt, not to be acted upon. And this is a prime example as to why. I love this girl. I still do. With everything I have. And I know part of her still loves me. But we just got off the phone and she said that for the sake of both of us, she wants to be friends. We want to be a part of each other's lives. And I'm sure eventually something will happen, we'll get back together. But it's not a guarantee. The future isn't a guarantee. It's not a guarantee that the placebo I'm under doesn't get struck by lightning. It's not a guarantee that I live to see tomorrow. It's not a guarantee that anyone does. That's what should make life worth living. It's the fact that everything is temporary. It adds beauty, it adds value. To appreciate things while you have them. To look back on the things after you lose them and realize it's okay to be hurt, but you should remember all the good times you had together. You should value the good times. There's a lot of stuff going through my mind right now. A lot of hatred towards myself. Wishing that I can go back and take back the past. Fix what I did. But the only thing that can fix it right now is time. And nothing I could say, there's nothing I could say, nothing I could do that will bring me back a few weeks ago to me going over to her house before work to leave her. To make me realize what I was doing is wrong. Knowing how hurt I would be and knowing that things would get better. I was rash. I was stupid. I was irrational. And I broke her heart. And I broke my own heart. I don't want any of this. I just want my girl back. But for her sake, I'll leave her be. I'm tired of hurting her. And she's finally able to be happy. And I want her to be happy. Even if that means I must suffer. Because she's worth all that pain to me. It's another thing I hate about being young. I don't want to be in relationships like this. I want to be sure of something. I want to be able to look back and say that that's my wife. I want to be able to always be able to go home and have someone who loves me for me. Not because they're my parents, not because they're my friends, but because they chose me out of a world of other guys. I'm not the most attractive, I'm not the strongest. And I have a lot of issues, but to be chosen like that, it felt amazing. And I thought that girl would be my wife. We always talked about it. She told me about her dreams about me proposing to her. My dreams about me proposing to her. My vows the wedding day. We talked about it all the time. Maybe that's what made it unhealthy, that we built it purely off the future, not of the right now. It was bad, but it was my fault. The only thing I can do now is wait. Wait for her to either just cut me out of her life completely, or to want to try again. Because if she does try again, I'm doing everything right, and I will marry this girl. She became my best friend very quickly, and she knows things about me that can ruin my life. It can ruin everything I have. But I trust her. I trust the love that she has for me still, even though it's better if we're just friends. I need to figure out how to love myself more before anyone else can love me in that way. Because I always told her that if it didn't feel like a relationship, rather it felt like something that is supposed to be. And that's maybe because I loved her more than I loved myself. I loved her in a replacement for myself. Like, to a point where I felt like I can't live without her. She called me the love of her life, and I believed it. I want to believe it. I want to believe that one day I'll marry her, and that I'll spend my life with her. Because we have this whole life where we start out in everything, and then we have life, and then we're back to everything or nothing. It depends on your outlook, religious views. But I want to spend that tiny gap of life with this girl. She's everything I could want. She's beautiful. Her body is the last thing I could worry about. My favorite curve of hers is her smile that I'd kill to see. And her infectious laugh. Doesn't even need to be over something funny. It could just be something stupid. But just to hear her laugh would make me feel so light. Make me feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Even on that call, we were laughing together. We were crying, we were laughing. And she slipped up and called me babe. She blamed it on habit. I'm just hoping that she actually meant it when she said it. I hope a part of her still misses me. I hope a part of her wants to get back with me. I'm sure a part of her does, but we're both too proud. No, I'm not even too proud to admit it. I'm admitting it. I love her. I can't tell if it's pride or if it's fear that is keeping her from getting back with me. Even if we were to get back together, it can't be right now. I still need to work on myself. I have a lot to prove to myself that I am worth a life, that I'm even worth her love. But if she finds someone better, like I said earlier, then I'll be here to support her. And I'll always be here if she needs a shoulder to cry on. Even though it's not my job. I don't ever want her to feel alone. She cried on my shoulder once before over a different guy. And I wish I could have been there as more than just a friend. I don't want to have childish relationships. I want to find my person. I'm sure many people do. And I'm sure many people are confident that they did. But it's not guaranteed. You have to treasure every moment. You have to act like every day is your last. To spend it how you want to spend it, but you got to protect yourself. And if you can't love yourself, how can you love someone else or expect someone to love you in that same manner that you're supposed to love yourself in? Nothing in this world is guaranteed. You can't read the future. You can't force someone to feel a certain way. That is what manipulation is. But I'll talk about that in a different video if I decide to post it. I can say so much about mine and this girl's relationship. We were on the phone for 2 hours, just talking about memories, and I don't want to talk about any of those memories unless there's direct permission from her. and I don't want her to think that I'm using it as an exploit to try to gain social media traction. I want to love her publicly. I want her to feel more appreciated than I allowed her to feel. I want my story to be an example in ways to my friends, to people who are just curious or lost in the same way I was. I want people to not make the same mistake I did. No one deserves to feel this way. Regret is a big thing. It's a terrible thing, especially when you know that it was easily preventable. I'll leave you unnamed for now. I don't remember if I said your name. But if you are so subscribed to my YouTube and I do decide to post this, I know I just said everything on my mind on the phone with you. I love you. I love you in a way that it shouldn't be allowed. I love you in a way that I'd bleed for you. I love you in a way that if the world was going to end, I'd run to your house just to see your face. I love you really more than I love myself, which is why we can't work. I love you for everything. Everything you've ever put me through, everything we've been through together. Every memory. They all come back every time I hear your name. Every time I think I hear your voice. Every time I hear a song that you like. Everything comes back to me. Everything makes me wish that I was by your side again. But that's up for you to decide. And I promise you, I'll be your friend for as long as you need. But I'll always love you. More than just a friend. I love you because you're you. Because I want my life with you. I want to experience the world with you. But if you truly think that this is better, if you truly find someone who could treat you better, love you the way you're supposed to be loved, then I will respect that. Until then, goodbye. I'll be posting more.